You want a house? Link Claudia Davis, man. You want a piece of land? She are the real big woman, Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. With she, you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own horse and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D are the real big woman. With she, you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own horse and a van through she. You can own acre land. She tell me pre-smart, pre-better. Get your own damn place so you prefer it. Dear me wife if you sign up letter car. NHT them a real trend setter. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. Me son just on table in December. And she look construction too. She will be the house for you and you get it well rendered. Davis, she are the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D are the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. She not start it and left you there. Me I tell your brother yes she well prepared. And if you're meeting enough farmer bangarang, she give you lawyer brother clear your fear. She are the best RST agent. She help the need if you stop pay rent. They don't care bad mind them just give me strength by steel and gravel and black and cement out. Now me house that I build up on the high. Me I save some me money gone up in the sky from. Maybe Claudia me say me nah lie bank. Have money and me pocket never giant. Me swear for me life say me son him have to fly so. Hypocrite pagan while we die. And no can't stop Claudia Davis, don't try. Every day another house gone. I Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D are the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. Yeah man, you know. Miss Claudia Davis, big up yourself. That's a like, subscribe, and share. Claudia Davis, can get your house anywhere. Just be prepared without no fear.
Welcome everyone.
Hi, welcome everyone. I am discombobulated this morning because I am not in my studio. So we have no AC. And I've been trying to get this AC fixed all week. And everybody tie me out like goat.
You know, the workman called and he was like, no, I called the workman and said, are you coming? And he's like, I got held off on another job and I can't come right now. I just need to deal with this other client. And I'm like, you set an appointment with me. Am I not a client? You know, like, am I not a client? You set an appointment to come X time to work on my thing. And then you're telling me to hold on because you have another client. And he's like, boy, bossy, you're a good client too, you know, you always pay me on time, you know, but we really have to do this. Just please. And I'm like, these Jamaican men, as soon as they start saying things like bossy and please and that, and you're like, oh, you just crumble. I just give them more time before you just fire them and find somebody else. I was like, yeah.
But Jamaicans tend to be loyal.
Yeah.
Like myself, I tend to be loyal when it comes to workmen.
Yeah.
So if he has worked for me before and he did a good job and I can close my eye and walk away, I tend to be loyal. I wait. So this is a challenge.
Yeah.
But we'll get it done. So we should be back there by Sunday. And we will have somebody new. We will have a guest.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Clifton Campbell. He's a lawyer. He's going to be talking about, tell them some of the things. I know Wills is one of them.
I think, so Wills Estates, I think squatting. What's the word?
Adverse possession.
Adverse possession is one of the topics as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He has a whole list that he's gonna talk to you about.
Right. And I think Tony and you have some ads out.
Yeah.
So if you have seen the ads, that's what he'll be talking about. Clifton Campbell, he's coming in. He's from Archer Cummings and Company. That's where he's coming in from.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. So thank you so much for coming and staying with us today.
And we apologize for not being here
Last week. Oh yes, same AC issue. So with that, we decided to just go to our office. So we're actually at our office doing this today, not in the studio, which is at a different location. So, but I'm trying to get everything under one umbrella because I can't take this whole heap of running around and whatever.
But you like the running around.
I don't mind it. But sometimes you have 10 baby mother, 10 baby father. What's the point? Put everybody under one roof. One light bill, one mortgage or one rent. Go one place.
And that way you can see when something going wrong immediately.
Yeah, it's more efficient. I have economies of scale. All you baby mothers and baby fathers should probably consider that. If you have multiple, maybe you want to put everybody under one roof. I know some people going, not me for that. No.
But I was talking to a friend and he was like, he's not with the women anymore, but he has children. So he has to still negotiate school picks up, drops off, birthday parties, just soccer practice, just whole heap of communication that he has to be doing. And he's like, if these women were in one place, I wouldn't have to be doing so much talking, And these kids don't even go to the same school and they're near the same age and have to be doing so much drop-offs and pickups. And he's like, I'm like, you plan your life, so.
Whose plan was that?
I know, right?
Or if you fail to plan and you plan to fail.
Yeah.
So he's failing right now, right?
Mm.
But this too shall pass.
Yeah, I'm saying he's just tiring now because I guess
everybody
needs his attention.
Yeah, I can imagine. So he's being pulled in lots of directions.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things, guys. So who is here? Tony?
Jovan is here.
I'm seeing the screen and I'm not
right
seeing
here. Jovan is here.
Okay.
And Lorna is here. And the Buffalo. Hi, the Buffalo. Hi, Lorna.
Hi. And to all those who have not said hi, we also say hi. Those of you joining for the first time, I'm Claudia.
And I'm Tony.
And we're real estate people. So we sell real estate, right?
We also rent real estate.
So if you have somewhere to sell, especially in St. Catherine, we have a lot of persons on our database who want St. Catherine. We're talking about Portmore. We're talking about Spanish Town.
I've gotten requests all the way to Linstead.
Bogwalk.
Yeah.
If you have property on that side you want to sell, give us a call. Sometimes it's best if you realign yourself, everybody. Realignment is important. So you may have inherited, you may have purchased these properties 30, 40 years ago.
But the thing is, after you've owned a property 10, 20, 30 years, after a while, just looking at the property, you get so bored and tired. And you almost resent that you still own it.
Yeah.
Like,
I have a client like that right now. Every time she thinks about this property, it's a headache. Do you need to get rid of it? It's a headache. Which is why I kind of love shiny pennies. I like new properties. I'm gonna have them maybe a year or two, sometimes maybe even 5. But by the time I start get bored, it's time to release it. Give the blessings to somebody else, and that's how you must look at it, guys. So you may have this property is not serving you, but it will serve somebody else. It will. So we have to unlock the value. Don't think that you planted one place. Remember when Jesus came on the earth, him walk up and down, him look for him 12 disciples, and they did the whole tour. Right? Them live there, them live here, them visit people all about weddings, this, that. What you doing in one place?
I know. I was cleaning a property we owned the other day, and I noticed that the tile, like someone was dragging furniture across it, so like 3 or 4 of the tiles are now blemished.
Could be me.
Could be you. And I was like, I'm gonna have to retile this because I just can't keep looking at it.
Oh, I hope you can tile.
I was like, oh gosh. But then just the thought of going to try and match tile and everything, I'm like, I'm gonna have to go tile the whole room. No. Like, it just keeps all the properties just take you down a rabbit hole.
Yes,
right?
they do. So So even sometimes I hear a person say they want to fix up or they want to fix her, like they have no idea.
I know, but I really think they're asking about fixer up because in their mind,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say this is a delusion, that they're thinking it's gonna be cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it may be cheaper on the onset,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not gonna be cheaper down the road.
Not.
It's not.
It's not.
Especially
Guys.
Jamaican properties.
No, it's not. Remember that you pull one thing, something else happen. Right now I'm looking at a building. It's an older building, trying to figure out why I'm having this problem with moisture and stuff in a room. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, I wonder if a pipe burst inside of this building in the concrete and we're not seeing it. So I'm going to do the surface stuff first, which is roof compound areas that, could be causing it and so on.
Check the roof. Roof is usually the culprit.
Isolate the pressure pipe. Check if the meter is running,
Mm-hmm.
Turn it off, check if the meter is still running, then I'll know, turn off all the pipes, if the meter is still running, have a leak somewhere. Let's hope it's not in the concrete. And the whole thing. But to be honest, it's a commercial building. I look at it and say, I wish I could have just let this down. Seriously, and start over. But it is smack in the middle between two other buildings that are active, and there's an active plaza with one bag of people that go through there.
But maybe you could just
not an option.
Maybe you could just gut the inside.
Which is what we're gonna do. So I finally decided to clean out what's in there first, take down every fixture, everything, so I can see the bare walls, and then figure out the plumbing and electrical, and then go from there, right?
Yeah, I've seen people literally, instead of going in the walls, they create a falls wall and put all new plumbing and everything.
Right, which is what I'm going to do. I may create a plumbing column and actually do that. And just abandon all the pipes and everything going on. But it's just the work. It is easier for me to build a building from scratch.
Yeah.
Guys, it's easier. So those of you, I know Jamaicans have this fear about construction. That's because you don't hire professionals. Seriously. You need to hire professionals. You need to hire somebody like me who's on the site. The management of the site is important. Anything in our life requires management. If it's even your household, the church, the business. Same thing with the construction. It requires serious management of it, right? Which is where I think Jamaica falters when it comes to their schools. I hear them talking about failing schools. They are failing schools because they are failing leadership. They are failing principals, right? Because the principal is who drives the leadership, the vision, and so on.
But at the same time, when government talks about failing schools, the government is in charge of schools.
Yeah, so themselves failing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
why you keep blaming schools when you are the problem?
Yes.
You need to fix it.
You need to fix it. And the government, the Ministry of Education should lead, right? So it's a segue. One thing I see them making a blunder with is how they choose principals. You must headhunt principals like how you headhunt for CEOs.
Yeah.
Right?
They need to take it. They need to take the role of principal from education to management.
To management, yes.
Because the principal not actually teaching anybody anything.
Well, she shouldn't be. She shouldn't be in the classroom, nitty gritty. The most she may do is visit a classroom.
She don't even need to be a devotion.
Yeah, and observe. That's the most a principal will probably do, because she have to manage teachers as well. But just to manage the physical plant, just to manage administration, she have to manage the teaching staff, the sports staff, the grounds, everything. So it is a management person you need in the role, not somebody with 3 degrees of teaching and all them things on the love put on these job descriptions. Really? I don't think so.
I do think the head of departments need to not be teachers.
Yes, head of departments too should not be teachers.
Teachers need to focus on teaching.
Yes. So your head of departments, your principals need to be the management of the school. Just like when I was in the army. The officer corps is the management of the army. The majors, the captains, the lieutenants, the colonels. Those are the management people in the army system. Right? Similar to police. you know, the ranks, the upper ranks are the brown suit, as Jamaicans love to say, the brown suit police. So they're the ones in the management section. The police recruits through the ranks coming up, which that is a little misfit, I think, too.
But I think they do it because there's a whole heap of very specific training that goes into army and police.
But I don't think so. Army recruits from outside. So army recruits their officers separate.
And then train.
And their soldiers are trained and recruited separate as well, right? So you don't kind of have the people confused with what it is that their role is in the organization. I think that for teaching cohort, there's a confusion. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tony, any questions? Remember, put your questions in the chat. We'll answer them either throughout the chat, depending on what you're asking us, or at the end. So stay with us. I hope you're having your Sunday dinner. Sunday dinner.
Eve is asking, how long does the seller's attorney normally take to prepare the sales agreement?
Oh my God.
1 day it should be.
Eve,
it should take maybe Eve 2 hours at most.
Who asked that? Eve asked that?
Yes.
Eve, that's a cut and paste document.
The only thing that really changing is your title, the address of the property, your name for the seller, and the buyer's information and the price of the property.
Cut and paste.
Changing anything.
Cut and paste. If we are your agents, we have already tightened up that. We are saying buyer's lawyer, seller's lawyer must complete the sale agreement contract within 10 days.
That means signing and paying deposit.
The buyer signing, paying deposit, and the seller signing, paying deposit. So everybody in that 10 days, the seller's lawyer who initiates the contract, the buyer's lawyer who helps to negotiate that contract, the buyer himself who signs and pays the deposit, and the seller themselves are him or her who signs the contract. 10 days. All of that must happen into, so you see, you want us as your agent. You want to use us. We're not into the foolishness, right? In the past, I've seen this agreement takes all a month.
I don't know why.
Before it even reached the buyer's lawyer. I am saying, guys,
I think
I'm not into it.
Maybe they forget they got the sale to do.
Yeah, I'm not into it. In this day and age with AI, I can automate a sale agreement. Give it to me, automate
you don't even need the AI. Every lawyer have a paralegal or an assistant sitting down right there.
Yeah, but they're human. They're prone to error. So if you give me that, I will automate it for you. Your assistant can go do other things like make phone call and follow up with the people with them, what them not doing, which is part of the problem. Two, the in the offices, the clerical staff or whomever you give the responsibility to, they're not doing the follow-ups. Need to do the follow-ups, guys. You need to leave your lawyers at the higher level that will solve a real problem. You know?
Yeah,
not a phone call to text to say, oh, why the sale agreement don't reach you. You don't need your lawyer to answer that, man.
But I'll tell you something. The reason why the industry and almost every profession across Jamaica now has an issue with follow-ups is because we're having a great divide. So we have your generation, mom, who are the lawyers, doctors, and Indian chiefs, who loves phone calls and communication and long letters that you have to open up and read and file and everything like that. Then you have your assistants, who are the 30 and below age group, who do not like so much communication.
Who don't like to speak.
And who don't like to speak. So when you're saying things,
message.
So when you're saying things like call and follow up, and your assistant's like, we sent the agreement to them in email. Did they not read their email? Like, why do I need to pick up a phone to call the answer you?
Yeah, and say, did you get the email?
We're having that great divide in the age groups.
Yeah, great divide, guys. Which is why me bridge that gap there. Me just say, listen, 24 hours, get it done. Try for the 24 hours. Weekends out, but Monday to Friday, try. Get a call, try. All right, you're going to try. Now we are flooded with a lot of calls, WhatsApp messages, and so on, but we're still trying to get them out.
Maybe you need to build an automated system.
Yes, that's what I'm working on, but I don't reach it yet. It's one of the things on my list. So I'm gonna be automating that because seriously, the volume, it's the human element. We're gonna need a whole call center to do this, which is why the companies themselves have gone that route now. So call center guys are gonna look out because the AI is gonna take.
I know, like when you call Digicel now, it's the AI that you communicate with first. Press 1,
press 2,
and now they're like, it's natural speaking. Just say what you need. I think it was a Digicel one the other day, and our coworker was like, you had a full-blown conversation with an AI. And I'm like, that's how vested I am in AI now. I can communicate with them fluently.
I know back chat.
And
nobody taking attitude that you're shouting at them.
I know, right?
You know? I don't know where they get that from.
And if the AI didn't get it, it says, please repeat.
Yeah. Simple and straightforward. Did I help you today?
Right.
Do you need anything else?
And it says, I think you're asking about...
Yeah.
Confirm with a yes or no. I don't mind talking to the AI, honestly.
Yeah, me either. I prefer it actually. And just get it done. We have a lot of excuses about why we can't get this done in this time. Like right now, I'm fighting with NLA on something. They're like, "Oh, we passed it on to the other department already," and which is them. I said, "Can I speak to the person that's actually no, we can't give out their name or whatever." I said, "Well, I need to get this done." So, okay, I can promise to have this done by the end of the month. This was 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago. So I'm talking to her at the top of the month, and she only can do this 3 weeks later. By the end, in my mind, I'm like, I'm dying for the AI come. I'm dying for somebody AI phone company. And then
you know the AI, the government.
Yeah, man.
Government not going to put themselves out of work.
My driver called me. Claudia, we pick up a letter for you for Ecosted. I'm like, from who? NLA. I said, all right. I'm thinking, what on earth could NLA be writing us about? So, Tony, you drop it off too. I see this letter upon my dining table. So I said, what is it?
I didn't even open it.
I open it to me look. Would you believe, guys, Ecosted bought a property in, I think it's 2021. Would you believe NLA is just sending us the notice to tell us that our name is now on the tax roll 4 years later? You know, some of us go so drops, throw it in the bin. Because Ecosted, we've already sold the property. We sold the property. And they're just notifying us that they've changed our names. And I said to myself, oh, Jesus. Jamaicans, you can't so slow. If you're not so slow, you're not ready for this yet. And this is why the 2030 vision has failed. We're going to discuss that later. How much years ago the government set up a whole thing about 2030 vision? If we hit one target, we're lucky. 2030, it is now 2026, 4 years, not going to make it. So we're going to talk about that, but we're focusing on housing, right?
Jovan, the NLA 6 stomach man.
Jovan, I said to myself, imagine all the people in my way to get a title out of the place.
I know, right?
Jeez.
I know what, didn't the Prime Minister had like this big grand thing where he announced we gave 40 people titles.
40?
I'm like, 40? You should be ashamed to be coming on TV telling us that.
No, I wouldn't say the Prime Minister should be ashamed. Whoever organized that
40
for the Prime Minister come give out 40 title. Obviously, think the Prime Minister have time for waste.
40 title.
40 title is where somebody go pick up in our office people.
I know, right?
Not come and shake the Prime Minister hand.
That's not even...
You should be giving out 40,000 titles. How do you set up food, location, Prime Minister for driving? What Prime Minister drive now? Range Rover still? I don't know. But whatever $25 million car that Prime Minister drive now, plus the whole entourage. How do you have the nerve to invite my Prime Minister to go stand up on a podium and issue out 40 title. Me feel, me know the little people them feel nice. Come here, I'm glad for a shake off the Prime Minister hand too. Forget the 40 title. But is that value for money? Is it? You should be issuing 40,000 titles. That's
Yep.
what you should be issuing. Come on my TV and show me say you do. Let me give you an blind. Let me say 4,000. 4,000. 4,000 guys.
Or you said something even better like this entire district is
Yeah,
now titled.
Then you're gonna set up a big fanfare.
Yeah.
Invite the whole world.
I even hand over the title them too.
Yeah, 1-1. Got through.
But not 40 titles.
40. Come on a bar too low. I want the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Andrew Holness, to raise the bar. So when that come in front of you, sir, please
Just send
ask
them
them,
back.
ask them, what is this?
It's like celebrating fourth place.
Yeah, like, who does that? Come on, I don't do that. If I don't come first in the class, there is no celebration.
It's like I was at a 5K this morning and everybody is standing up with their Catherine's Peak water drinking. And the announcer's like, we have a special prize. Who can tell me who sponsored the hydration station today? Unless you never know what hydration means. But everybody's standing with the Catherine's Peak water bottles drinking. Like, what is this man at? And there's a big old basket of prize for it. Like, really no. Really
You should
no.
have just plucked somebody out of the crowd and give that to them.
I know, right?
Why you
Wasted 2 minutes of announcement to ask that question, come up with a basket and shake hand and everything.
yeah.
Like-
Just hold up the water and say this is sponsored by Catherine Peak.
But we
You
all
come
know
to the
that.
basket.
And so what happened? As you come across the finish line, somebody hands you a Catherine's Peak water after the race.
Thank you, Catherine Peak. You were the first ones who actually came with bottled water. You suffered through it, but no, you're good. And time everybody carrying glue, you know, but not by the bottled water. But no, bottled water is
Everywhere.
a thing. Not even me. I don't carry no glue nor nothing. I buy the water, the deer water.
I still carry any glue.
Some of the water dearer than the drink. Jesus, that's weird. I paid $200 for the little one like this yesterday at the restaurant. I was like, when did this $50 water reach
You're paying
$200?
for the AC and the chair that you sit down to
Man.
enjoy the water at the restaurant.
Jeez. Anyway, it was more expensive than a drink, than a Pepsi or one of those.
Maybe it's alkaline water.
No, sir, regular filtered. But thank you all for being here. I'm Claudia. NLA broke up your solid ground. But
People are wishing everybody's happy Father's Day.
I forget about that.
Happy
Day.
Father's Day.
Father's Day. It's today.
I know nobody really remembers that it's Father's Day.
Day. Yeah. Happy Father's Day to the fathers, all the baby fathers, the husbands, who may not be fathers, but the father in somebody.
Mhm.
The uncles who I know do it as well, the friends, the grandfathers. The truth is we can't do it without the daddies, you know.
Mhm. Everybody has to step up.
Step up. You have to step up in one way or another, guys. Everybody play them role.
And like they say, our young men are at risk, so we need more persons to step up to that role of father
Yeah.
and give some direction and guidance.
Or just be there.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad that my grandson's father is there.
Mhm.
Because the little one named Zavin, the last one. Oh, Jesus. I swear him come just like me. The boy is stubborn, yeah. This morning I say, you guys gone for the walk. Him wake up. I say, okay, come, let us first him and tell him about him throw him sausage and him this and him don't want the sausage. Say, all right, let's go do some writing. Him come watch Paw Patrol.
Mhm.
I say, no, Paw Patrol so early in the morning. You have to do your homework and you have to do the writing first.
Mhm.
Him agree when him hear him say, me nah turn on no TV, no tablet, nothing for no Paw Patrol. You know.
Mhm.
So I go get the pen, the book, everything, line up on my bed. The boy write 2 stroke. Him don't even finish a letter. Don't even finish a letter.
Sure it was an I.
Hear him. Grandma, I don't want to do this anymore. So I look on him. I say, remember, you finish that, then you get the Paw Patrol. The boy fling with a pencil. The only reason why I never get up from a chair was because I had YouTube Live preparing for.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have taken out the time out of me to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But me allow him. But when I get back home, he's gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to send my daughter a message to let her know no Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol probably gone through the door already too since we leave.
Today's Sunday.
It's Sunday, but I need to call that back. But guys, Ben, gentlemen, we need you. Now, if his dad was right there at the time when he did that and throw with the pencil, him would have really just suck it to him, give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Whether by speaking or maybe literally, reprimand him for it, right? He would have just stepped in automatic right there, so. Which is why I'm glad that he's around, because that little one need more
handling.
Yeah, Xander is great. I mean, he's a great kid in terms of obeying instructions, doing what he's to do. And
what I like with Xander, he does the instruction and then cry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, but Xander need a little bit more strong-willed. So I'm glad that his dad is around, and he will manage him, because boy, my poor daughter can't manage. So me, Tony.
But he's her baby.
He's her baby. Therein lies a problem. That's a problem. But the fathers, glad you're around.
Mm-hmm.
Be there. More fathers are stepping up to the plate. Don't let the woman them use their mouth and bamboozle you. Because one time I see him bring the discipline Xavier dinner. Me and Rachel, she in the background. Why did you have to do that? Why did you have to shout at him so? Instead of look for that. So what would you have me do? What would you have me do? So listen to them, out of the car and the ears.
No, I think him discipline her baby. She feeling it.
She feel the pain.
Poor kid not even gonna remember that tomorrow.
No, he's not, because you notice how him bounce fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the current discipline him, I rough him up. I'll give him, because I had to give him 2 slaps a couple times. In a quick succession, that is like...
It's like a hackler, Jekyll and Hyde. It's like you never done nothing to him.
At the time when him come back and apologize, sorry grandma, most contrite, and then after that he goes baby again, him quite fine. So don't be afraid to discipline the kids. Them bounce back quickly. Mm-hmm. They don't carry the grudge. And you want them to respect you as a parent. They have to understand that you're the parent and you're not. At the time when him fling down my chair, them told it, that was the time when him come out him apologize. Mm-hmm. You are the parent. We just have to ensure that for what they do, you discipline that and not your whole life troubles. yeah, no, for the poor kid. Yeah. Discipline exactly what they did at the time. All right. And you should be good, and they will remember it. That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. They'll remember having. But I find that the presence of the father, just the father being present, is good. Because like what I said, come and do your homework, and them start to fuss. As Brent said, didn't you hear your grandmother? Everybody scam back and start. Come like my voice. I know it's the deep baritone voice of Brent. It's like everybody I just love it. Say, yeah, bad. So that's for calm, Eva says, I've been waiting on 7 days and my lawyer has not received the sale agreement. Take out the phone and make a call. Mm-hmm. Who is she's a buyer? She's a buyer. So do you have an agent? She has a lawyer. Yeah, but call the agent. Because the agent would have called the seller and let the seller know what's going on. Yeah, because the seller will call to move faster. It can't take them 7 days, man. By now, the other lawyer should have gotten that agreement already. Looked at it and say, yes, it's good, and then meet the 10-day signing period. That's what we're not wasting any time with these things. You come as a buyer, come with pre-approval, you come with everything. Move on. Mm-hmm. We in Jamaica, we used to have a 90-day close. Now it's gone to 120 days. 180 day, all 1 year for things where it shouldn't be. I'm saying no. No, no, no. And if the buyer don't
But
sign within the 10 days and pay the deposit, we cancel the sale.
what I don't
We don't want a
understand
property,
is
so we're
why
not in you.
house sales take so long. I mean, the way they take so long, you could have literally moved the entire house and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, I could have built a whole house.
Yeah, they take too long just to shuffle paper.
Take too long, guys.
And
Seriously.
for the most part, nobody's objecting. I want to buy it.
Yeah,
You want
to
to sell it.
Yeah, there's no objection. Literally, none.
I can understand if there's an objection, but usually there's no objection. It's just people moving paper slow.
Slow. And this thing with the bearer have to drop it, this have to drop it. We need to get a digital signature, seriously. This have to drop it, that have to touch it. The amount of people have to touch it. Even when it gets to the stamp office and it gets to the same NLA, the amount of people touch the paper. Come on, guys.
And I'm wondering is how we still have fraud when so much people touch it.
Yeah, how you still have fraud? I don't get it. It miss everybody. But I can't see that happening still. All right. So Tony, is there a break? No?
Yes, there is.
There is? Okay.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Looking for a place that feels just right. Cool red hills breeze every day and night. Welcome to Leeds Flats, peaceful and bright. Modern apartment, living done right. 2 spacious bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Open concept style with a beautiful path. Big modern kitchen with room to dine. Perfect little spot for your peace of mind. Step on the balcony, sip your tea slow. Quiet little community with a cool hillside flow. Internal laundry, low maintenance too. A perfect new beginning waiting for you. Leeds Flats living simple and sweet. Comfort and convenience finding me. Call today, don't let this pass. Find your new home at Leeds Flats. Leeds Flats living simple and sweet. Comfort and convenience finding me. Call today, don't let this pass. Find your new home at Leeds Flats. Leeds Flats living. Leeds Flats living. Leeds Flats living. Looking for a place that feels just right. Cool red hills breeze every day and night. Welcome to Leeds Flats, peaceful and bright. Modern apartment, living done right. 2 spacious bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Open concept style with a beautiful path. Big modern kitchen with room to dine. Perfect little spot for your peace of mind. Step on the balcony, sip your tea slow.
All right, they should be able to hear us now.
Okay. I was far. She says no sound.
All
Tell
right,
us
so answer
us
back
if
Gavin's question and answer back Chad. Chat what's that's
huh?
what's question.
Check. This was here. This is Sharika check.
Yeah,
It's the same
sound is
sound
back.
thing.
Yeah.
All right. So, what was the question?
So
Who's
the first question wanted to know if they can if a common law title has an expiry date. And then the
Oh,
second
hold on. Let me answer
question.
the first question. So, no, it does not have an expiry date. It's good right through until you decide to go and get a registered title, right? Or if government come through your area and issuing registered titles and you use that document to show that you own this property. But it's good right through. It must be, when I say common law title, I mean the conveyance document. It must be stamped by the stamp office. So if it's recent, get it stamped. Must be witnessed to by JP and everybody, just the same. What's the other one?
Second question was whether or not you can start the sale of a property before the title is ready.
Is that a subdivision? If it's a subdivision, yes. We start with the sale agreement and so on, right? But we don't complete until we get the title. If it's not a subdivision or somebody just selling you a piece of land, then you want to get a pre-check diagram from the person to show that this is the land. That pre-check diagram must go to the same NLA, and they're the ones who will ratify it and give you what's called a PE number. Forget what it means, what PE stands for. It's called a PE number. To show that yes, this is on the system and this is it, right? Then you want to go get that conveyance document completed. You can buy it at the bookstore. It mark conveyance on it. So it's just something like I, John Brown, sell to so and so. It's very easy to fill out. Witnessed by JP, just the same. Go take it to the stamp office and get it stamped.
Okay.
Right? And exchange the funds, get your receipt, and all of that stamped. So you must have the conveyance document. You must have the conveyance document. Plus, you must have the proof of payment.
What about the proof of owner?
Yes, the person who's selling you the property must show how did he come into the property. Was it will to him? And if it was will to him, he must show you his grant of probate to say that yes, he got it. Did he buy it? And if he bought it from somebody, he would have also have his conveyance, his pre-check, his receipt. So it's important that you know the backstory of how this person got this land. If it's a registered title, it's simpler because it would have NLA would have stamped the owners on a registered title and all of that. But for those that don't have no registered title, a little bit more tricky.
All right, so we can move to your article now, Mom.
All right, so this article, Diaspora Conference, was last week. I didn't get to go. I was running around doing other things. It was on my schedule anyway. It was initially, and then I took it off. All right, so the Prime Minister, in his speech, and I'm reading from the Gleaner article that came out June 18, a couple of days ago. Jamaicans in the diaspora are being encouraged to invest in Jamaica's expanding private real estate market, with Prime Minister Andrew Holness arguing that their home ownership can help stimulate economic growth while creating opportunities for more affordable housing for locals through the National Housing Trust. So it can help stimulate economic growth and at the same time create opportunities for more affordable housing for locals through the NHT.
Because of the economic growth?
It says home ownership can help stimulate economic growth, one, while creating opportunities for more affordable housing for locals through the NHT. Not so sure the two go together, but let's continue. Holness, who was addressing delegates at the opening of the 11th Biennial Diaspora Conference in Jamaica, in Montego Bay, St. James on Tuesday, said members of the diaspora should view property ownership in Jamaica as both a personal investment and a contribution to national development. Well, I think they do view it as a personal investment, and I'm sure they know that when they come here and spend 200,000 US, 400,000 US, that money goes into the economy, unless the money goes out of the economy to somebody who takes it out. So they could buy a house from somebody here, but that person lives in another country, so the money would have gone there. But I think for the most part, the money is here, right? The housing market in Jamaica is expanding, and it is expanding rapidly, particularly in the private sector, said Holness in making his pitch to attendees at the conference, which is being held under the theme Empowering Jamaicans and Diaspora Towards Rebuilding a Climate Resilient Jamaica. In arguing that increased participation by overseas Jamaicans would inject capital into the economy, yes, while strengthening confidence in the country's long-term prospects. Holness said getting a home in Jamaica would be the ideal investment. I agree with that. I encourage all Jamaicans overseas to participate here in the real estate market in Jamaica. Get your second home here, or even your first home. Get it here in Jamaica. That will help to drive the economy. Holness, who also holds a housing portfolio, acknowledged that some members of the diaspora have been hesitant to invest in local housing because of past experiences in which money sent home for construction projects were mismanaged. I've read the horror stories of members of the diaspora sending back money to Jamaica to build a fancy mansion, and then, to their terrible surprise upon landing, hoping to have the enjoyment of a beautiful facility when they turn up, either there is no house or a shack. He said, in reference to persons who have been fleeced of their money by unscrupulous persons. However, Holness said the growth and the increasing maturity of the private housing market now offers safer and more reliable investment options for Jamaicans living abroad. He also suggested that greater diaspora participation in the private housing sector could have broader social benefits by allowing government housing programs to focus more heavily on lower income families. In a strange way, that will also help the NHD to focus its efforts on providing low income and affordable housing to those Jamaicans who can't afford the price in the private housing market. When I read this first, I'm wondering, what does one have to do with the other? Seriously. He suggested that greater diaspora participation in the private housing sector would have broader social benefits by allowing government housing programs to focus more heavily on lower income families.
Who is preventing the government from focusing on lower income housing?
Or what is preventing?
Because they have the money sitting down in NHD.
But the diaspora, who they're not a contributor to the NHD, cannot buy an NHD house. So certainly, the diaspora and the NHD contributors are in two different target markets. They barely cross over. We have a few persons who have signed up on the voluntary contributions, but I think that's too few to even talk about, right? The private sector houses being built by the developers, Gore and all these people, Wiccan and so on. The diaspora buys those housing. So does the NHD contributors using their NHD, right?
Yeah.
But the houses that the NHD built, the diaspora cannot buy those houses. Those houses are only for NHD contributors. Now,
I know we do have diaspora contributing to the NHD, but it's a very small group. And not only that, to get an NHD house, you have to be contributing for all 20 years. To get there.
To get the house. You're better off on the open market.
Yeah.
So I'm not so sure, Minister Holness, what is the correlation here that you're suggesting that if the diaspora buys more houses in Jamaica, the NHD can now build more houses for low income earners? Quite frankly, I don't think one have anything to do with the other. He says, in a strange way, and this is the thing now, I'm not seeing the strange way, so it's strange. That will also help NHD to refocus its effort on providing low income and affordable housing to those Jamaicans who can't afford the price in the private market. Were you ever focused on providing low income? How many low income houses have you built for the year? According to Holness, the diaspora has an important role to play in Jamaica's development agenda. I agree. Not only through remittances and philanthropy, but also through direct investment in the productive sectors of the economy. So yes, guys, you send a lot of remittances here, you send a lot of barrels and so on, but I think you need to convert some of that remittance money into buying property, paying a mortgage every month,
And I
right?
think the diaspora is trying.
They're trying, but they're not trying hard enough. The case so those in Canada tend to buy. I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Those in the UK tend to buy.
Mm-hmm.
The ones in America seem to think they can't afford it, or they're focused on something else. So the Americans send a lot of barrel. Come here, guys, convert the barrel money.
But I think it's a different. You have to understand. Well, you know the history, Mom. Those that went to America back in the day, they had to leave without family, so they feel this sense of responsibility to take care of the family left behind, which is the remittance and the barrels.
Yeah,
those that went to Canada and England, Canada especially, were able to take the immediate family with them.
Yeah, but listen to this. Instead of giving a man a fish, give the man a boat. Give the man some fishing rods. In this case, instead of sending clothes, perfume, this, that, food cheap in Jamaica, guys. Food, that. Buy a roof over them head. Buy a roof, man. Buy a little 2-bedroom house. Pay the money every month for the loan. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying stop the barrel, but this excess. You know, people tell me them sell an 8-barrel commerce every year.
Mm-hmm.
It costs $1,000 a pack of barrel, you know.
Mm-hmm.
$1,000, how much money that? $10,000 as a deposit.
Mm-hmm.
Pay the loan, guys. Ask us how you can be a pre-approved for a loan. Matter of fact, I'll tell you now, you can go on our system. So we have an app called MAP. Love how that's so. An app called MAP. So it's Mortgage Application Pre-Approval Portal. MAPPHQ.com. Put it in your WhatsApp now. MAPPHQ.com. We haven't done the official launch yet. We're still working out some kinks in the background, but for the most part, it is working. Go on it, start an application. Choose me or Tonian as your sales rep. All right? You will see us there. Choose a mortgage officer. Once you choose a mortgage officer, we will know. We follow it up. You must get pre-approved. That's the first step. You have a pay slip. You have credit report. You have job letter. You have tax return. Go to the portal. MAP. Go to the app. MAP. Mortgage Application Pre-Approval Portal. MAP. And guess who come up with the name? The AI. Not me. Telling her using the AI. So he says, I think the diaspora can play an incredible role in supporting the private real estate market. Yes, I agree. While noting the efforts being made to improve public safety alongside with new infrastructure projects and continued economic stability. I encourage all of you here to buy a piece of Jamaica in the private real estate markets. Yes, I've been encouraging you all to do that. Those of you who have done that already, big up. You see the blessings and you see the journey. And you know what it is, and you're enjoying the fruits of doing that. So instead of planting a maca tree 5-10 years ago, you planted a fruit tree, and now you're enjoying that fruit. Because remember, the decisions that you make today will impact your life 5-10 years from now. All right? When you get to my age, you're going to look like all the decisions that you made for all the years coming up. That's what you're going to look like. So guys, all right. Now, when I read the article, I said, you know something, I'm going to deep dive into this. does NHT really need diaspora people to come and buy real estate so that they can focus on low income housing? It doesn't sound right to me. I mean, because the NHT is not selling houses for the diaspora to buy. They're not. You can't buy it, guys. You have to be a contributor. So I decided to get that's not the one you need to have up. You need to have the one up that speaks. That's the last one. Get that off your screen, please. You need to have the one up that speaks about NHT. So I decided to deep dive into the National Housing Trust and find out what is going on here. Why are we having this gap in terms of affordable housing? Everybody want you walk up and down and say them can't afford no house. Them can't do it. That's not true, guys. So I was at a school. Oh, I need to say this before I forget. Ocho Rios Primary School. We were there 2 weeks ago. My phone went down for about a day, half a day. My WhatsApp, I should say. So I've lost it. When it restored, it didn't restore anything for
The week.
June.
The entire June is missing?
Yeah, the entire June is missing. So I did a talk at Ocho Rios Primary School.
No, high school.
High school. If you had contacted me about something from that school, which quite a number of persons did, please reach out back to me. Let me know where some of you actually spoke on the phone, and I kind of gave you some insights as to what you need to do and to start your journey and so on. So just WhatsApp me back so that I can have the info and I can save it and I can follow up with you. I'm blinded because I don't have my WhatsApp went down. And then that teaches me something else. So we need to use our intake form when we're on the talks.
Okay.
Right? Because if I had that, I could have now gone back into it. So we're looking at the National Housing Trust deep dive analysis. So I went and found the 2023-2024 annual report. Now the NHT is not hiding this. It is on the NHT's website. As a matter of fact, they have all their financial reports from Wapikil Phillip on the site. When I started reading it, though, I realized that they gave me a 7-year analysis. So 7 years in the back. I said, okay, so I don't really need to go and read all the reports because they actually gave me a 7-year history with some numbers. So I went through it and I read it. There are some numbers that jumped out at me. And I decided to jump on my AI to do a deep dive into this for me. Some numbers jumped out. So you know something, let me use a more experienced person than myself. So you know, I never call nobody. I sit down right on my bed and do this. And with the
AI is a more experienced person.
Yes, AI is a more experienced person. And this AI is Claude, guys. So I jump on Claude. I said, Claude, deep dive into this for me. I need to know what's going on here. So I'll go through. So we're going to go through now. So the NHT statutory mandate, what was it created to do? So National Housing Trust was established in 1976, for those of you who don't know, and incorporated as a body corporate under the National Housing Trust Act of 1979. It's a statutory body wholly owned by the Jamaican state and overseen by the Office of the Prime Minister, who serves as the portfolio minister. There are no private shareholders. The NHT is not a commercial bank, not a property developer for profit, and not a government revenue tool. Though, as we shall see, it has increasingly been used as all three. Now, this is Claude talking. I'm just a messenger. Please, everybody, remember, this is Claude, AI.ai, deep dive into this financial report that I uploaded. So it says, it's not a commercial bank, not a property developer for profit, notice, and not a government revenue tool. He says, although it has increasingly been used for all three. So the legislation functions of the Act establishes 4 core functions. add to and improve the country's housing supply by promoting housing projects, making loans to contributors of purchase, construction, maintenance, repair, or improvement, and encouraging improved method of house production. That's one. Two, enhance the usefulness of the trust funds by promoting greater efficiency in the housing sector. Three, provide social services and physical infrastructure for communities developed under NHT projects. Notice the distinction. Provide social services and physical infrastructure for communities developed under NHT projects. So NHT not supposed to give me, a developer, any money for go develop social service and physical infrastructure for EcoStead, because EcoStead is not an NHT project, all right? They're also to receive, administer, and invest the trust funds, make refunds, and grants to contributors. Now, who contributes and what they are owed? The NHT is funded by mandatory payroll deductions. Employees contribute 2% of gross wages. Employees contribute 3%. And self-employed persons contribute 3%. So Tony and I are self-employed, we contribute 3%. These are not taxes. They are earmarked contributions that belong to the contributors. So you're supposed to get it back, right? Workers are legally entitled to housing loans at subsidized rates and to refunds of their employee contributions plus bonuses. We notice Claude put that in a bracket. After 8 years of contribution or upon retirement, death, or invalidity. So you are entitled to the housing loans at subsidized rates, one, and you're entitled to the refunds of your contributions after 8 years of contributing. Well, them say 7 years in the back, so it's a technicality. Bottom line, the NHT exists to serve contributors, not the government fiscal position, not shareholders, not profit maximization. Every dollar the NHT collects is a deferred wage held in trust. Remember, this is Claude.ai's analysis. Oh, I know somebody will call me tomorrow. Who owns the NHT? So the NHT is a statutory body corporate. It has no shares, no private equity. Legally, it is owned by the state on behalf of contributors. The board of directors, 9 to 17 members, is appointed by the Prime Minister for 3-year terms. For years, financial year 2023-2024, the board comprised 10 directors, including the managing directors ex officio, a government senator, a trade union representative, and civil servants, reflecting its tripartite origins. The trust reports annually to the Prime Minister, not Parliament, under Section 3 of the Act. Here's a 7-year statistical history that is in the book, right? So from 2018 to 2024. Now, at first, what jumped out at me was net profit and accumulated profit. I'm like, 104. And notice, key matrix at the top, then put some extra 3 zeros up there. This is in billions, right, guys? Oh, you're thinking of it in billions, so you're good. So 2024 accumulated profit $170 billion. Which company in Jamaica have that to carry forward in them balance sheet?
But this is not a company.
No.
It's a government corporate body.
So total assets them say in 2024, 378 billion. Loans receivable 287 billion. Total income 41 billion. Not so sure that work out, but 21 billion of accumulated profit. Now the housing data shows the annual housing, the contributions received, the refunds are paid, the mortgages since inception, individual benefits since inception. I'm wondering if this figure is right or somebody did something wrong here.
Why?
2024, from the trust came into inception, they have only issued 232,000 mortgages. No one down before How much people say 40 people I get title?
That's a different program, mom. Different program. But I don't get it. So
I'm confused.
this is just NHT or this is open market as well? This is open market as
This
well.
is everybody. Mortgages that them give to everybody. Whether you're buying from them or whether you're
Buying on open
buying the
market.
open market. Financial ratios, the red flags in plain sight. And this is where it gets interesting. Guys, remember it's Claude do this, not me. So them say if you want to hide something
Mm-hmm.
from somebody, write it down. Write it in a book and give it. They will never read it. Right? It says here,
What's the red flag?
the red flag is the efficiency ratio. So 2021, remember efficiency ratio 168.
Percent
Yeah. Efficiency ratio, what it means? Somebody drop it in the chat.
efficiency. Does that have to do with what they say they're gonna build versus what they build, or how quickly they build it?
Yeah. Or how the organization is running. What's the ratio of what you're delivering and what it costs you to deliver the
Deliver
good?
it. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
What's the efficiency ratio? Now look at it climbing. 168, 159, 241, 2024, they are 274.
So every year they're getting more inefficient.
What's your yield on investments? 11.5%. How them I get that? I don't know. Remember, this is a company. This is for non-profit.
But mommy,
Right?
this is also a company that basically getting free money.
Exactly.
They literally have the companies that pay you.
3%.
You pay them.
Non-refundable.
Yeah.
So if you're working for an organization, you're paying 2% of your pay, but the company itself
Is also paying.
have to give NHG 3% calculated off your pay.
Mhm.
That's free money that them don't refund. Them want to refund your portion. All right. Those are the ratio. Well, we'll soon get into it.
Mommy, you want to run a company like this, man?
That is a, and this is a company me want. So the critical signal is your efficiency ratio. And in case Claude think me never understand, which it probably did, which is why it explained it. Nobody dropped it in the chat yet.
Let me see. No, nobody.
I'm gonna drop it in the chat yet.
What's the efficiency ratio, mom?
The NHT's efficiency ratio has exploded from 68.7% in 2018 to 274% in 2024. The normal bank targets under 60%. An efficiency ratio above 100% means the organization is spending more on operations than it earns from its core lending. It survives only because it receives mandatory contribution income that is legally distinct from revenue. This trend is deeply concerning. That is
So they're only there because they hijack us from the start to get the money.
That is Claude, guys, not me. Please remember. So if you want to argue with somebody, argue with Claude. So Claude said this is deeply concerning. It's deeply concerning. Who no put in efficiency ratio in the chat yet?
No.
Somebody Google efficiency ratio. What does it mean? A company's efficiency ratio. Drop it in the chat. I think Farah is on. Farah or Sharika, or even the Buffalo, put it in the chat for me. Is NHT making a profit or loss? The headline number versus the real picture. On paper, the NHT appears highly profitable. But for year 2023-2024, it posted a net profit of $21 billion, up from $19 billion in financial year 2022-2023. Accumulated profit sits at $170 billion. Return on capital is 12%. These numbers look impressive. More than impressive, Clark. They blow away. I doubt it. Kaya say, wow, in it because I think the only bank them would be them big money are like Scotia Bank, you know. But I tell you so much billions them making, you know, right? This year I think NCB.
SCB is like a bank.
Yeah.
Energy is like a big bank.
So what your Claudia say now? And me write this people, please remember disclaimer, not Miss Davis write it. I'm only reading it because Claude can't read it. And Claude can probably read it too. Reason number one, so he's gonna tell you now why, right? What's the real picture? The income is confiscated wages.
Confiscated. Never put it a better way.
The income is confiscated wages. So Claude is
Farah
saying,
put it in there. The efficiency ratio measures how well a company, most commonly a bank, uses the expenses to generate revenue.
right. So how much the banks spend. So like Ecosted. So let us say Ecosted. We're gonna spend 100 million to maybe put in the roads and this and that. How much money we collect when we sell the lots? Do we get 200 million? So we'd have an efficiency ratio of 50%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what they're saying now. So the single largest income item, 30 billion or 73% of total income, is the non-refundable employer contribution. This is a 3% paid by employers that workers never get back. The NHE treats this as permanent income, but it is a policy choice rooted in the 1979 Act, not a market-earned return. If contributors could choose where to direct these funds, NHT would lose its primary income source overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So because of the Act, it's rooted in the Act that the employers have to pay this 3%. That is how NHT get that money. The second largest income source is interest on loans, 8.7 billion. But the NHT average interest rate on loans has fallen from 4.8% in 2018 to just 2.9% in 2024.
Oh, they're not really charging that much interest anymore.
No, they're not. Remember, your one was like 2% or something like that. The trust is deliberately lending below market rates as part of its social mandate.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. The spread between what it earns on loans, 2.9%, and what it earns on investments, 11.5%, reveals where it actually generates returns. Investments, not housing loans.
Okay.
So
yeah, the housing loans is a cover, isn't it?
The housing loan is a benefit to benefit contributors.
Right. It's not really.
It's not really to make money. So they're making 11%. Why? NH, you need to tell me when I make that 11.5%. Which investment again 11.5%?
Which is why you really need to go and get your loan, people.
Response to the government siphon. Oh, Claude, why are you using them word, man?
I know these words are so triggering.
Triggering. The government siphons 11.4 billion annually. We all know that. Under the National Housing Trust Special Provisions Act, first enacted in 2013 and extended in 2017 and 2020. The NHT is legally required to transfer up to 11.4 billion per year to the government's consolidated fund, i.e. to the National Treasury, for fiscal consolidation purposes. This has nothing to do with housing. The transfer appears as a cash financing outflow in their accounts. Over 7 years, from 2028 to 2024. And it's more than that because it first came in 2013, right? But we're talking about for this report that I'm looking at. At 11 billion per year, that totals approximately 79 billion extracted from contributors' housing fund. Glad make sure say, never say NHT. It's extracted from contributors' housing fund to service the government's fiscal position.
I don't mind that happening.
This is a structural, I mind it happening. This is a structural raid on the NHT's capital. What is the compounding impact? The compounding impact, the profit before this transfer was 22 billion. After the 11 billion is transferred, the NHT actually retained only 10.8 billion. Barely 49% of stated profit. Contributors effectively subsidize the national budget by 11.4 billion every year.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
Everything is wrong with it because this is a housing trust.
Yeah, but what they're using the 10 billion that they still have to do.
No, that's the question. The NHT themselves, all right, you give 11 billion to the government to do whatever they want to do with it. But what have you, NHT, done with the 10.8 billion that you have leave?
That's what I'm asking.
What have you done?
Because at least that money is accounted for. Where's the rest of the money
Where's the
going?
rest of the money
Because
going?
we're not seeing the housing.
Reason 3, operating costs are out of control. Total operating expenses surged 25% in a single year, from 11.9 billion to 14.9 billion in 2024. The breakdown is revealing, says employee costs for the year 2024 was 12 billion as opposed to 2023, which was 9 billion.
I don't get that. Employee as in the staff that was sitting on an NHT?
Yes.
But I thought government paid them. NHT paid them out.
NHT paid them out of your contributions.
Oh.
So, well, it should be an investment side, but they're not making that much money.
I thought government would have paid them out of their 11 billion.
So now you take a different position. Government should have paid out of their 11
Because I thought government was paying salaries.
Yeah. Well, now you see. Office rental, 483. Scheme expense, electricity, telephone. Now, out of all of this, the employee cost is 12 billion out of a total operating expense of 14 billion.
Is so the NHT salary high or some of them have so much staff?
My gosh. Employee costs at 12 billion represents 81% of all operating expense. They rose 32% in 1 year, driven by salary compensation reviews, job upgrades, and retroactive payments.
Oh.
While workers deserve fair wage, this is Claude, guys. While workers deserve fair wage, this scale of increase in a single year, while housing delivery actually fell, represents a governance failure. Additionally, social subsidies and grants nearly doubled from 1.4 billion to 2.8 billion. The largest new item, 1.66 billion in mortgage interest rate subsidies under the External Finance Mortgage Program, a cost the NHT bears to compensate partner bank for offering contributors lower rates.
Oh yeah, that program that he brought out 2 years ago.
So it costs 1.66 billion in mortgage interest rate subsidies under the External Financing Program. So hold on. So this is telling me something else again. If so, the bank is charging 8%, and you're supposed to get 5% from your NHT. The government is who paying the extra 3% to the bank.
Okay.
That is what this seems to be indicating. I didn't realize that. I was wondering why the banks were doing it. So they are still getting the interest. Wow. So why does the NHT lend the money? But they have the money. So why you need to run to the bank?
But my
cost the NHT bears to compensate partner banks are offering country. My God. So the profit verdict. So Claude says the NHT is not a loss-making organization, but its profit is misleading. It depends on mandatory employer contributions as quasi-tax income, benefits from below market lending rates subsidized by the same contributors it serves, and loses 11.4 billion annually to government. After the government transfer, real retained earnings are roughly half the stated profit. Meanwhile, operating costs, especially staffing, are growing at double-digit rates with no commensurate improvement in housing delivery. I think that is one now I get Claude upset.
The AI is getting upset.
Yes, I can feel it. I can hear it in his voice. The AI get upset. The AI has to listen.
Monica says Claude is exposing.
Yeah, if the AI, Claude has said, guys, if you not get them big pay, then you need to show the results. You need to show the results, right? No. Housing delivery, the core mission scorecard, what the numbers show? Total units built since inception. So, let me jump to 2024. 3 net new benefits, net new mortgage, individual mortgage since inception. I can't believe it's among the 232,000 people mortgage since when them start. Something wrong with this. Individual
Maybe the
benefits.
next 2 years we'll see changes. Now that they're doing the Home It Expo. Because they're really trying to get people to take those mortgages.
Over the 6-year period from financial year 2019-2024, the NHT added approximately 40,000 in cumulative mortgages. Only 40,000 on go for the mortgage? What on earth? Only 3,926 new mortgages were added. Really, guys? The lowest in a 7-year window. What are you thinking? Watch out.
Yeah.
2023 was 7,327. And then 2024 it dropped to 3,926. Why?
But what I don't understand, in COVID they were still producing relatively the same.
Yeah, but what
So
happened
why they
in
drop after
2024?
Was it an election year? Like, why was it so low?
No, maybe we'll look for half the numbers in 2024. We need to see the period where maybe it go from April to March.
Because they were pretty consistent with them 7,000.
Yeah, they're pretty consistent. They're not even increase it.
Even COVID.
Right. So I think this 2024 figure skewed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over the 6-year period from that, the lowest 7-year window. Okay.
Monica said AI will soon be banned in Jamaica.
May I tell you? But mortgages do not equal houses built. The NHT finances contributors to purchase on the open market to build their own land, to participate in NHT schemes and via joint ventures. Housing starts in the year were only 1,128 against a target of 11,000. And then that target is 11,000 and only start 1,128.
90% miss.
Housing completions in the year were 2,582 against a target of 4,141. Miss. Total unit currently under construction 4,296. Total loans directly created by NHT 4,384 and a value of 22 billion.
I mean, when you're doing a 9% achievement and a 10% achievement, you're really not.
That's right.
The only thing they're doing well is collecting the mortgage, and that's because people fearful of losing their house.
Guys, if you're in a class, you get a
contributions collected. No, mortgage collection exceed 26.1 billion. My God.
Full of money. Jamaica has an estimated annual housing deficit of 10,000 to 15,000 units per year. Based on population growth, household formation rates, accumulated backlog estimates from the PIOJ and Housing Ministry, the NHT is the primary institutional vehicle for affordable housing. With 2,582 completions in 2024, the NHT met somewhere between 17% and 26% of the annual needed, failing badly. You get 26 in a class, you come up to your mother, you bring 26%. You get too lick.
Yeah, mother's gonna ask, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Because it's clearly me.
Clearly something I do wrong. The NHT itself acknowledges the shortfall and cited. Yeah, so in the report, guys, the Claude pick it up. Claude don't miss nothing, says the NHT itself acknowledged the shortfall and cited supply chain disruptions, really, contractor delays, unprecedented shortage of skilled labor.
No, I can't believe that.
And longer than expected pre-construction approvals. This everything here, so them have under them control.
Let me
longer than expected pre-construction approvals. It is the government who approves whether you're gonna build your own house or you're gonna do a subdivision.
And it's and developments fall in the Prime Minister's office.
It is the government of Jamaica who trains skilled labor. Not private sector do that, guys. It's the government of Jamaica who trains skilled labor.
Government also in charge of supply chain distribution.
Government is also in charge of that. Them in charge of customs and everywhere.
You know what I don't understand?
I don't understand. Plus, I'm gonna cut you. We now import marl and sand and gravel and cement. Cement make a Jamaica. So what is it that is causing supply chain disruption?
Mom, you know what's happening? You work at government agency B, I work at government agency A. And even though I am to approve, review timely, and approve whatever you need to go and build your NHT development, I am slow and tardy on this side, which is causing, and I'm like, uno work for the same place.
Yeah.
You work for Jamaica, you work for Jamaican people, do your work. Like, and they're going on like they don't work with each other.
No, they don't.
Like,
No,
you're
no,
not all falling under government.
It's not government paying you. It's who paying you. No. These are real factors, says Claude, but they also reflect years of underinvestment in the construction pipeline, weak project management, and excessive dependence on private developers who face the same constraints. I could have kissed Claude for that. Claude, I could have kissed you for that. Over dependence, excessive dependence on private developers who face the same problem that uno can't fix. There's nothing here that uno can't fix. Right? It says annual housing expenditure is falling. It is not rising. It's falling. So the housing expenditure in 2018 was 90%, which is 31 billion. In 2019, 37 billion. Right? It says the annual housing expense is falling. The housing, 2018 was 28 billion. 24, 30 billion. So, you spend 28 billion in 2018, and you're going to spend 30 billion in 2024. Something what's wrong with that? Even price increase, what I tell me, say it should have been more than 30 billion. Even if you never build, even if you're going to build the same amount of house. So what this tells me is that you build less house.
Yep. You drop your standard.
Yeah. Housing expenditure collapsed to 30 billion, down 34% from 45 billion in 2023. The NHG is collecting more from workers, but spending drastically less on their housing. The gap between contributions received and housing expenditure has never been wider.
The sad thing is, like, that when people are contributing their NHD, they're like, I just want an NHD house. I just want the NHD house. And I'm like, the government barely building the NHD house for you to get.
He says of the 30 billion in housing expenditure, 22 billion, which is 73%, went to mortgage loans to contributors. Only 8 billion funded actual construction projects.
See?
The lowest construction investment in the 7-year window. He says refundable contributions are growing liability. The trust holds 171.2 billion in refundable contributions as a liability, up from 99 billion, an increase in 72% over 7 years. These are funds owed back to workers. The NHG has never disclosed a concrete timeline for full repayment of this growing obligation. As more workers reach retirement without assessing housing, this liability will become increasingly pressing.
So it's in their best interest to build these houses and sell it to you so that they don't have to pay back no contribution refund.
No, them still have to pay it, but they can put it to the mortgage.
Yeah, which is back their money back.
Them still have to pay it, but it's so they either pay it to you in cash or they put it to your mortgage.
Yeah,
which
but
they did for us.
But if they pay it back in mortgage, that's just a paper, a stroke on the computer. If they have to pay you back in cash, that's no money they're taking physically out of NHT, so you can do whatever with it.
Yeah, but this is worrying though. And because I've personally been through the maths, I'm realizing that. So I borrowed only 1 million, and my contributions to the trust have been way past 1 million for the time that I've been working, right? Mm-hmm. But the good thing, guys, why I'm saying to you that you must go for this money. So it's not even the fact that NHT is throwing away the money, giving it to government, doing all kind of fancy things, paying staff and all these things. Truth is, you have not gone for your loan. That's the truth. So I was able to take a $1 million loan and have a property now valued at 35 million. Mm-hmm. Just a $1 million loan. So I'm saying, even though I have paid them more contribution than the million that I took, it don't reach 30 million.
Yeah.
So I'm still ahead of the game, right? Plus, I live somewhere. So has the NHG veered off its mandate? The short answer is yes. In several fundamental ways, the evidence from the report is unambiguous. Claude, you have to tone it down.
I know Currency saying, Monica is saying, expose them, Claude. And Currency is saying, is it feasible for the government to build houses under 15 million? I'm truly wondering. It is possible.
It is possible.
The government is doing that.
And they have done that. If you look deeper in the report and you do the maths, you'll realize that they're building whatever house and build divided by the amount that they spend, and you realize that yes, they are doing it.
Not only that, in Galena, they're doing that right now.
Yeah. The NHG post profits, grows its asset base, invests in securities for yields, 11.5% return on investments in 2024. Glad vexing. Okay, glad read over. And prioritizes financial ratios like return on capital and return on assets, none of which appear in its statutory mandate. Glad vex. Glad said. Capital return on assets and return on capital is not in your mandate. So why you prioritize that? The Finance and Technical Committee of the board explicitly aims to maximize revenue inflows, language borrowed from commercial banking, not from a contributor-focused development institution. The NHT's investment portfolio earned $1.54 billion in interest on investment securities in 2024, up from $707 million in 2023, a 118% increase. This means NHT is parking contributors' money in government bonds for yield rather than deploying it into housing. The accumulated profit of $170 billion represents capital that could fund thousands of housing units sitting idle. Glad vex.
But that's typical Jamaican government. We like to do things the lazy way. Building houses are hard work.
Yeah, love lazy life. Serving as a government revenue tool, the Special Provision Act mechanism requires the NHG to transfer $11.4 billion per year to the consolidated fund. Fundamentally contradicts the NHT's mandate. The NHT is legally supposed to use its funds to house contributors. Instead, it is used to balance the government's books. Over the period 2018-2024, an estimated $79.8 billion in contributor funds was diverted to the National Treasury. No contributor was consulted on this. No contributor voted for it. Yes, Claude, tell them.
They don't need to vote. It's already written law that they must take out $11 billion a year.
Then them read the law. The Act extensions in 2017 and 2020 were done by government decree, with contributors having no voice. This practice directly reduces the capital available for housing delivery. If the NHG transfers $11.4 billion per year to government and simultaneously misses its housing targets by 90%, what is the causal relationship? The report does not address this directly, but the arithmetic is telling. Now it says, expanding beyond core housing. The NHG expanded into a wide range of activities not directly related to housing contributors. Refurbishing police stations, $254 million.
No, that didn't need to do.
Installing solar panels at infirmaries, $3.7 million.
That didn't need to do, man.
Building a parent overnight facility at Bustamante Children's Hospital.
That did needed.
$15 million. Emancipation Park maintenance, $211 million.
That need to do.
Upgrading community infrastructure, roads, drains, sewage in 99 NHG schemes, $799 million cumulative.
That didn't need to do.
Providing homeless shelters for the non-contributing homeless population.
That didn't need to do.
But Claude says, while some of these are laudable social activities, they represent scope creep using contributor funds. The NHT Act empowers provision of social services and physical infrastructure for communities developed under NHT projects. But refurbishing police stations and hospital facilities falls outside any reasonable reading of this mandate. What I'm wondering, when you take out the 11 billion, why you not use the money to do that?
Mommy, that's for salary. You never hear that.
No, it didn't say it's a salary.
Then what do you do with the money? Is the salary the biggest thing government pay for?
I don't know what it is for, but I'm saying
And if all our other investments not making any real money,
when the government, but this is what Claude is saying. Claude is saying the mandate is not for this. So seriously, if you take out the money, use the part of the money the way you take
I
out.
keep talking about mandate. Like our government has a history of sticking to mandates.
Claude is saying the legislation, the act. You forget? The first part speaks about the act, what it is that NHT is supposed to be doing. He says it is not, it says it, he said it earlier, the NHT Act empowers provisions of social services, physical infrastructure for communities developed under the NHT project.
So police station not included, hospital
Yes,
not included.
but
They're supposed to have their own
refurbishing
money.
police stations and hospital facilities falls outside any reasonable reading of this mandate.
Yeah, but those things were needed.
It was. But it is saying that.
Yeah, but it's
Come
the
on.
quickest way to get the money.
Yeah, but come on. You creep your owner and set up your owner. You set up yourself.
But you know what? Maybe in the next 2 years, these reports will look different. Because, I mean,
Let's
Prime
hope so.
Minister announced housing in St. Catherine, housing in St. Mary, housing in St. Thomas, housing in, what, St. James. I'm doing some work.
All right. Employee costs consume $12 billion in 2024, representing 81% of all operating expenses and 40% of housing expenditure.
Currency's asking, can private builders do the same 50 million homes on open market? No, private developers have to purchase their own land.
Yes, and
That's
plus
the
biggest problem, and borrow bank money.
And private developers have to buy aggregate.
And borrow the bank's money. Don't forget that.
Yeah, and borrow the bank's money.
Yes.
At higher interest rates.
Yes, government owns quarries. They do.
They own land, they own quarries, and they get free money.
And they get free money. So what more you want? The organization now.
The only thing they have to pay for is labor, really.
This is it. Employee costs consume $12 billion in 2024, representing 81% of all operating expenses and 40% of housing expenditure. By comparison, the NHT spent $8 billion on actual construction. The organization now costs more to run than it spends building houses. A 32 salary increase in a year when housing starts hit their lowest recorded level is impossible to justify on performance grounds alone.
So they increased their pays by 30%, but then build less houses. So the money went into their pay.
Board composition and independence. The NHT board is appointed entirely by the Prime Minister. While members include trade union and civil society representatives, there is no independent contributor elected representation. Workers who contribute 2% of their wages for decades have no formal voice in how their money is managed. The board serves 3-year terms and can be changed at the political will, creating potential for policy instability and political interference. Lack of transparency. The annual report provides cumulative mortgage figures since inception, but does not publish annual completion figures for prior years in the 7-year summary. It is therefore impossible to verify from this documentation alone whether 2,582 completions in 2024 represents improvement or deterioration compared to 2022 and 2021. The report only gives year-over-year comparison for the most recent years. Historical housing production data should be disclosed annually. The 7-year summary shows the efficiency ratio operating expenses divided by net interest, deteriorating from 68% in 2018 to 274%. This metric is buried in a table with no narrative commentary in the report. No chairman's letter explains why the trust is now spending 2.74 for every dollar of interest income earned. Transparency demands that management explain and be held accountable for this alarming trend. So what it is saying is that the interest you earn, if you earn $1, you're spending 2.74, you're only earning of every dollar. So you literally have spent more That way you're earning an interest. And therefore, that extra money must be coming from the contributors' money. Some way, somehow. And that is coming not from personal contributors' money, but the companies, employers. Unresolved mortgage arrears as of 2024, 36 billion in loans are past due, up from 31 billion. This represents approximately 12% of the entire loan portfolio. Of this, 25 billion is over 90 days past. The NHG extended 1 billion in loan renegotiations to borrowers who would otherwise have been delinquent. These arrears, if not controlled, could significantly impair the institution's long-term viability. Oh my God. Taxation anomalies. The NHT carries 7.9 billion in recoverable withholding tax and 6.5 billion in tax payable, both unchanged from the prior year, suggesting a long-running dispute or administrative backlog with tax administration Jamaica. Additionally, trust carries 37 billion in tax losses available for set-off, reflecting the complexity of its hybrid status as a social institution and a taxable entity. Are they meeting the targets or failing badly? This is a central question, and the data from 2024 gives a clear answer. The NHG set a target of 11,500 housing starts. It delivered only 1,128. This is not a marginal miss, this is a systematic failure. Even accounting for approval delays, contractor issues, and labor shortages, an achievement rate of less than 10% of target represents a fundamental breakdown in delivery planning, contractor management, and project pipeline. The NHT's response is to announce 15,000 housing starts planned for 2024, an even more ambitious target set in the same environment that just produced a 90% miss without structural reforms to the planning and delivery system. This target is a serious risk. So even after you set a target of 11,000, you miss it, you only deliver 1,000, you're still gonna say, announce you want the 15,000 housing starts.
Yes. Oh, you always say you must reach higher, man. You reach for the sky and you land on the treetop. But that's what I always say.
The NHG completed 2,582 housing solutions against a target of 4,142. This represents 67% improvement over 2022-23, which suggests some pipeline recovery. However, individual projects, build and own land, construction loans accounted for only 35% of completion, compared to 78% of the previous year. NHT managed schemes and joint ventures delivered the bulk, suggesting contributor-initiated individual projects are stalling. Contributions collected, one bright spot, Claude said. Contributions collected reached 56 billion in 2024, exceeding target by 7%, and increasing 17% over 2022-23. This strong performance reflects salary increases across the economy, which mechanically increase contribution amounts and improve arrears collection. This is an administrative achievement, but is not a housing delivery achievement. Loan activity, the NHT directly created 4,384 loans at 22 billion 2024. An additional 463 loans at 4.2 billion were disbursed through the new External Financial Mortgage Program, EFMP.
So they're not even doing 100 loans per month?
And 594 loans at 3.7 billion on the joint program. Total 5,441,000. This is a reasonable volume of lending activity, but lending alone does not create housing where supply is a constraint. What Claude is saying, yes, you can give the loans, but those loans are probably on existing properties already. But they're not building, they're not creating new supply of houses, right? That's what Claude is saying. What the NHT can do, Claude, I'll give me recommendations, guys. You have them there?
Let me see.
Yeah, see them there? So, the people at NHT, the people at the Ministry of Housing, the people at the Prime Minister's office, here are Claude's recommendations. 1. End or radically reduce the consolidated fund transfer. But there is a Claude Vex about this.
It's the number one recommendation.
Number one, yeah.
Probably reduce it by 50%.
The 11 billion extracted to the national treasury is the single most damaging constraint on the NHG's housing mission. If this fund were retained for housing investment, the NHG could finance an additional 1,500 to 2,000 affordable units per year at current construction costs. The next renewal of the special provision due March 2026 should be challenged with advocacy for contributor representation. I think this gone through already.
April gone.
Gone. Recommendation 2, mandate a maximum efficiency rate of 80%. The board should set and publicly commit to a glide path to bring the efficiency ratio below 80% within 3 years. This requires controlling operating expenses, particularly staff costs, linking salary increases to housing delivery outcomes rather than across the board compensation reviews.
Wow.
And reviewing the management layers and administrative overheads. Glad it's a good thing you're not a real person.
I know, right?
You don't get some knock for this. 3, establish a dedicated construction delivery unit. The NHT must stop depending almost entirely on private developers and small contractors who are themselves subject to the same labor and supply chain constraints. A dedicated internal or joint venture construction delivery unit with hard trust NTA, training program integration would give the trust direct capacity to build when the private sector stalls. The 2024 9.8% achievement on housing starts shows the external contractor model is broken. It also says 4, fix the planning approval bottleneck. Yes, me said this too. The report admits that the time estimated to obtain required approvals and finalize negotiations was longer than anticipated, resulting in a deferral of anticipated starts. This is a recurring excuse. The NHT should establish a formal fast-track approval mechanism with the National Environmental and Planning Agency, the relevant parish councils, and the National Works Agency. If the government cannot grant its own housing institution priority in the approval process, the housing targets will remain fictional. A true clad. So them control this, approvals. And you're going to tell me, say, NEPA, NWA, and the whole of them are stall the government approval process.
I know, it's like when your boss says that you must arrive work on time, and your boss give you a company vehicle, and your boss pay for the rent where you live, that's only 30 minutes away, and you still reach work late every morning.
Jeez.
You're like, boss is like, really? What else can I do?
Yeah, what else? But fire you. Fire you, forget fire this. Implement annual contributor reporting. Wow, they're not gonna like that one at 20. Every contributor should receive an annual digital statement showing total contributions made. I think we have that now in the portal.
Yeah.
Cumulative balance, expected refund date, loan eligibility, interest rate applicable, and position on any waiting list. That last part is not there. The NHT currently treats contributors as passive depositors. Informed contributors become advocates. Transparency also reduces political manipulation of the institution. So I think the NHT, they've done this in part. Remember, NHT Online, those of you listening to me, NHT Online, type that in Google, portal comes up, register. If you register already, put in your email password and you're in.
You have 5 minutes, Mom.
Well, I'm at last, no, I have 4 more. Democratic board representation. Wow, democratized. Not gonna like that one now. Contributors who fund this institution should have elected representation on its board. A model similar to credit unions, where contributors vote for a portion of board seats, would align governance with beneficiary interests, reduce political interference, and increase accountability for housing delivery targets. The current system where the Prime Minister appoints all directors creates a conflict of interest, given the special provisions transfer mechanism. Wow. 7, adopt a public housing backlog target. The NHT must publish and be held to a publicly committed annual housing start and completion target that is disaggregated by parish and income group. Currently, targets are set internally and missed with limited public accountability. Quarterly progress reports on housing starts, completions, and pipeline should be published on the NHT website. Performance against targets should be a formal element of board and management evaluation. 8. Address mortgage arrears aggressively. With 36 billion in past due loans, 25 billion over 90 days, NHE needs a structured arrears resolution program beyond an ad hoc renegotiation. This should include a time-bound voluntary restructuring window, clear consequences for chronic non-performers, community mediation services for distressed borrowers, and improved digital payment infrastructure to reduce friction in repayment. Unresolved arrears deprive the NHT funds needed for new lending. Yes, NHT, and I don't want me sell on a private treaty. Lock me out. That's why them can't sell. Put me in charge for sell them and see how fast I sell the whole of them. 9. Redirect peripheral activities back to core mission. The NHT should sunset or transfer to other agencies its roles in police station refurbishment, infirmary repairs, hospital facility construction. Yes, man. Send it back to Dr. Tufta and parks maintenance. These are not housing activities. The JA 250 million annually spent on these peripheral programs could instead help close the gap on housing targets. The NHG social mandate relates specifically to communities it develops, not to general social infrastructure across Jamaica. 10. Introduce a contributor housing pipeline program. NHG should develop a formal queue and pipeline program. Contributors who register housing intent receive a projected timeline and unit type, enabling the NHG to plan construction volumes against real demand rather than aspirational targets. This turns the current reactive model, build first, allocate later, into a demand-driven production model. It also allows contributors who are in the 63%, 0% interest rate bracket to plan their financial lives around a concrete housing time. Conclusion: a financially capable institution failing its beneficiaries. The National Housing Trust is not a financially distressed organization. It holds 378 billion in assets, generates 21 billion in annual profit, and has accumulated 170 billion in retained earnings. By those measures alone, it looks like a success. But measured against its mandate to provide quality, affordable housing to Jamaican workers who fund it, the NHT is failing badly. And the evidence from the annual report makes that unmistakably clear. Over the past 7 years, the NHT has managed to absorb a 7-fold increase in the efficiency ratio, from 68% to 274%, allow housing expenditure to fall 34% in 1 year, while contributions grew 20.5%, miss housing starts target by over 90%, divert an estimated 79.8 billion to the government treasury, and allow mortgage arrears to swell to 36 billion, all while accumulating 170 billion in profit that could be building homes. This report, with its glossy design, 47-year nation-building narrative at the top. So it's talking about the financial reports of the NHT that are uploaded for it to do this. So this report, with its glossy design, 47-year building narrative, and photos of smiling beneficiaries, does not adequately address why 232,657 total mortgages since inception represents a grossly inadequate output for a 47-year-old institution that has collected hundreds of billions in contributions. Jamaica's housing deficit is not being solved. The NHG is becoming a better financial institution at the expense of being a worse housing institution. The reforms needed are structural, political, and operational. They require reversing the government's practice of using the NHG as a fiscal buffer, returning governance affordability to contributors, bringing operational costs under control, and building the internal capacity to actually construct homes at scale, even when the private sector cannot. Final assessment: the NHT is collecting more money than ever, earning strong investment returns and posting healthy profits, while building fewer homes than at any point in recent years. For the workers who contribute 2% of every paycheck, hoping one day to own a home, the NHG's financial success means very little if the housing is not here when they need it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was prepared from the NHG's Financial Report 2023-2024. 140 pages, which was published October 2024. All the figures in Jamaican dollars unless otherwise noted. Analysis current as of the report date ending March 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't blame the NHG for this. I blame you. You are the ones contributing. This is your money. You need to go for your loans. Call me and Tony, make we find the property. Have your deposit ready. Buy what you can afford. Don't look for shiny penny things where you can't afford. If NHG is a 9.5 for house, 5 million for land, that's the way I go work with. We have lands at Palmetto Pines that all of you can afford, right? You're just not pushing out to get it. Don't watch the NHG transfer money to government, pay staff enough money and do all these things. Don't watch that. Remember I'm telling them, I borrow 1 million, right? House value, how much million now? And I've paid contributions more than $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
I have. But the fundamental thing is that now I'm sitting on an asset that is worth far more than the sum total of the parts that I put in.
Yeah.
That's the key. But you have to start walk your foot. You have to make the phone call. You have to call us. You have to get on our website, right? You have to get us to get you pre-approved. Remember, I gave you a map, Tony never put them in. maphq.com. realestatemerchantsja.com. EcoSet development is out, but I'm doing another website, so that will push up soon as well.
We have a question we need to answer before we log off.
We're log out soon. It's 2 o'clock. Wow. Mm-hmm.
So Dancer was asking, how would you handle a tenant relocated to the US and their grandmother who is not on lease agreement but still living there? Also, how would you handle his deposit plus he owes a small balance?
So who is paying the rent?
How would you handle a tenant relocated to the US and their grandmother who is not on the lease agreement but so I own a property and I rent it to the tenant and his grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
He has migrated
Mm-hmm.
to the US, but grandmother is still living in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how would you handle his deposit? But you said his grandmother is still living in the house.
So what deposit?
You wouldn't return any deposit there yet?
No, because he hasn't given up full lease. He's to vacate everybody from the house.
Or has his grandmother taken over the lease?
Lease, yeah. So the grandmother would take over the lease and would start paying, but it seems like they're not paying. He owes a small balance. The rent is still, the tenancy is still continuing because his grandmother, who was always living with him, is still there.
Or is it that he's severing his tenancy and grandmother is starting a new tenancy?
Yeah, is he?
Because I've had situations like that where one sister moved out and then the new sister took over the tenancy. So the sister paid her rent, I paid back her deposit, and then new sister moved in, paid her own rent and her own deposit. Okay, they said she will pay it now, right?
Mm-hmm. So you take out he would owe you. You take out use the deposit to clear whatever it is he owes, and give him a difference if there's a difference.
And grandmother pays a new deposit.
And grandmother pays a new deposit, yeah. So he says he owes a small balance. So his balance is probably less than total rent.
Than the deposit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if he deposit 50,000, he owes 10,000. Take out the 10,000, give him about the 40. Grandmother now pays a new deposit, give her a new contract.
Mm-hmm.
And now is the time to raise the rent if you want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to do that, give her a new contract at the same price.
Right.
All right.
She will pay. No, she will take over. Okay.
All right. Any more questions? We're going to sign off. No. Next week, we're still on housing. Guys, I needed to go for your loans.
Next week you're mostly on land though, with Mr. Campbell.
Oh, yes, next week we'll have a lawyer coming in. Clifton Campbell, guys. So make
Staffy
sure you
was
stay for that
asking
one.
you, what do you think about St. Anne's development plan? Andrew Holness posted, to be honest, I'm getting tired of seeing all these homes bought and no one lives on them. What about sustainable development?
Nobody lives in them. Where are they? They're overseas.
Possibly.
Some of those houses are investment houses too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could be bought by a company. It don't necessarily mean somebody have to live there. Some of them are investment houses. And I heard about it briefly, but I have not deep dive into. I don't even know where the places are, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard it in the periphery. I think somebody was talking to me about it, but I don't have a detail. But it's a good thing. UDC is doing it. So I can probably look and see. It is a good thing. It's just that they talk so much, don't do anything. So they're tenant today and they don't break ground till 10 years later.
Yeah, I'd rather they do it and then after the fact I'm say do. And then maybe come and look at the prettiness.
Yeah.
And final question here is, how can I get my name corrected on my title I bought from subdivision?
NLA. Go to NLA. You need a birth certificate. TRN, just the same. Copy of the title. Ask them to correct the name. There's a form. Could be. Go to the NLA website. Go into forms. Then there's a form. But I'm not going to find it now because Tony, we have another appointment that we need to get to. Forms online. Application to amend. Is it? Application to know change of name, change of date. One of these forms must can do it.
But you can go on the chat in the weekday
go in the chat
and ask them which form to use.
And a registered instrument deposit. What's a registered instrument? Suppose. Yeah. Yeah. Go in the chat. We'll go to nla.gov.jm. Bottom right, you see a chat. Just go in there. They come on 8:30 to 4, Tony? Something like that. Or 8:30 to 4:30. Is it?
It's not 3 o'clock they close?
They close at 3?
No, the chat.
The chat close at 3?
I think the chat closes at 3.
Chat should be 24 hours. Why chat close 3 o'clock? Why? I mean, come on. Why you close the chat 3 o'clock? All them something the Jamaicans gonna get with it. It's a chat. I mean, you put it out there, then make it 24 hours. So go onto the chat. Just ask them the exact question that you just asked us.
Mm-hmm.
They'll tell you. It shouldn't be difficult. Shouldn't be a matter of you completing a form, get it stamped, JP, da.
Right.
And then I hope you have the copy of the title. Even if you don't, if you don't have a copy of the title, as your bank have the copy of the title, they need to let them know that your name is spelled incorrectly so that they can get the title there and get it sorted out.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right. See you next week.
See you next week. Remember, the lawyer is here next week. Come prepared to ask the questions.
I will be back in the studio.
Hopefully, if the AC man turn up.
He's gonna turn up.
All right. Bye, everyone.